Hey everyone. So, today's video, I'm going to be talking about the stuff that I had to deal with personally. It all revolves around the AVM that I have. Back when I was in kindergarten, this wasn't really a big deal. I think a lot of kids get like this, but I know I was out for a while because of the first surgery that I had when I was 5. And when I went back, I remember my mom walked me into the room. And oh boy, I was clinging on to her. I didn't want to go. I guess that's normal, but it's like I felt like everybody was staring at me. I felt so uncomfortable. It wasn't even at the beginning of school. It was sometime in the middle or something like that. That I didn't like it. I'll be right back. As y'all know, this is Scorpion. This is probably going to be all over the place. Time frames I'm not that fantastic with. I got the rats in this room too. This probably isn't a smart idea. You know, a lot of different things have happened at different times, and I'm going to be remembering them kind of all over the place. Say hi. He said hey. After my big surgery, when I was able to eat again, I wanted to go to Chili's so bad. So my parents took me. My face was swollen really big. I may end up putting in a photo for my graduation to give you reference of how my face looked. He's getting to be a big boy. He probably smells those rats. Let me go put him back. I ain't trying to freak him out. It ain't feeding day for him. And he ain't eating these rats. They my babies. We went to Chili's. My face was like... I kept feeling people stare at me. So I looked over and I swear I stopped eating. I started crying. I don't like a lot of attention. I got picked on a lot. I think it started in 5th or 6th grade and went all the way up through high school. It's not fun. I try to stay off the radar a little bit. But sometimes, it happens. I don't like people staring at me. I don't. I get so mad. I feel like all they notice is this. And that's in my head. I know it's just in my head, but that's how I feel. After I had my surgery, I had a lady come in, and she said that she was a therapist. I had a lot of physical therapy done for walking and moving my mouth. And I thought she was a physical therapist because I've seen a lot of them. I thought they were just sending more people. When I was in the hospital, I was so happy. I don't know what it was. I wasn't around a lot of the stuff that we're around every day, in school and work. A lot of stress, you get on the road, you start driving, somebody does something stupid, all of a sudden you're ready to fight. That's me. She asked me if I needed to speak to somebody, but oddly enough, I was so happy in the hospital, and I was like, no, I'm not worried about it. I'm happy. I'm fine. I'm still alive. I was thankful for a lot of things, and I think that had a lot to do with how much I took for granted. I mean, I had a feeding tube in me almost the entire 3 weeks. I couldn't drink anything. I couldn't eat anything. Everything was through my nose. I had that trach in. I mean, even that, I couldn't even move myself up in bed. I couldn't walk because of that. Actually, I'm going to show you that spot on my leg. This is where they took the bone out of my leg and they did a fibula flap and they took the muscle out back here, and this was like as red as that umbrella on that picture. It was about that deep. I had no energy. My head felt so heavy. My parents were up at the hospital I think they were only gone one night, and my granddaddy stayed with me. I could not talk. I couldn't even laugh. I would just sit there and hit my fist on the side of the bed, which was my way of laughing, I guess. I couldn't do anything. If I started to slide down in bed, I had to just make weird noises until my parents woke up and they had to grab each one of my arms and pull me up on the bed because I couldn't do it. I'm assuming I was happy in the hospital despite all that because it made me feel really grateful for everything. Don't take the simple things for granted. Being able to drink a cup of water or anything, being able to eat, being able to say something. It's hard to practice what you preach and getting caught up in everything and how long it's been. It's really easy to take stuff for granted until you can't do those things. And then all of a sudden, what do? But I'm lucky to be here today. So, I knew I would get sidetracked. I'm going to try to get back on. Okay, so, when I was in high school, I had a few friends. I didn't have a whole lot of friends. I had a few. I've lost friends because of this. Believe it or not, I had a few friends that were in high school with me that were like, look, good luck on your surgery. We can't wait to see you afterwards. I come back to school, apparently looking like Frankenstein, because some kid called me that. They wouldn't speak to me. I don't know why. These were the same friends I'd had for a year or two. They wouldn't speak to me anymore. Nothing. It was lonely, to be honest. It really was, and it sucked. But you can't control what people do. People are gonna do what they want to do, but you can control how you react to it. You can control what you do. So you just suck it up and go on. Shoot, I'm 25 now. I ain't got time for none of that mess. My life took a really big U-turn earlier this year. Y'all know about that. Everything is starting to fall back together. Everything is getting better. Finally. It was tough. I know people were cutting their eyes at me, talking about me. Hardly anybody would talk to me anymore. And I've had some people talk to me just because they felt bad for me. I'm going to move on to mentally what's happened. I became severely depressed. I deal with it. I have cried myself to sleep. I have wished the absolute worst on myself. I'm getting to a point where I can look in the mirror and not be absolutely disgusted by this. I started getting really bad insomnia. I couldn't sleep. I was eating a lot of food. I guess that was to cope. I don't know. I wish I was one of the people that wouldn't eat when I'm upset, but I eat everything I see when I'm upset. It's just, it's been a tough road. Everything's getting better. Back when I was in 7th grade and 8th grade is when it got really bad with people picking on me. And it's because I wore all black and I was really quiet. I remember I would come home crying because of it. There was this one girl, man, she would push me into my locker and knock everything out of my hands. I mean, and this was a big girl. She was about 3 times my width and about 5 times my height. I wasn't messing with her. I'm about to get my tail beat. If I had got hit in the face, I probably would have bled out. That's how bad that thing was then, because they hadn't fixed it then. It was still very much alive in there. If I would have got hit. And people always told me, and I'll make this very clear on how I feel about this. People told me, well, I hate that they're picking on you, but you don't know what they're dealing with at home. They don't know what I'm dealing with either. But I'm not going to go make somebody's life hell because of it. No one should be picked on for any reason. Anyway, depression's been bad. Considering I'm always hurting too, and also with the fact that I do have a lifelong prognosis. I was given 2 of those, one when I was young and one not too long ago, a few years ago, but still adult, whatever. So I'm always going to be having problems with it. Either it's going to kill me or I'm going to the grave with it. I don't believe there's a chance it could be gone. And they don't have a whole lot of hope that it will be, just because it's a large AVM. And they have a really bad tendency of always coming back. And right now it's in 3 spots in my face that I know for sure. But since I've been having these issues lately, I will be having the CT scan Friday, which I will video all of that and let y'all know what the doctors say, what the plans are, if there are any. Hopefully not, but my anxiety has a lot to do with just being looked at. I do not like people staring at me. It might be the tattoos. I don't know. I love tattoos. I do. If you can't tell, I think I have 20 now. I used to just want them because they're so pretty. They're different. I've always liked being a little different. I'm so lost right now. What is this video? It became a situation as the years went on, and I just started to break down more and more over life. In a way, I always felt like the tattoos took attention away from this. Now I get them because I genuinely love them. I love the bright colors. I've always loved how tattoos look, and it turned into wanting the attention to be taken away from my face. It's slowly gotten better over the years, and I know there are so many more situations that this video is supposed to be about. This has affected relationships. Of course now I don't care. But in the past, you know, I've spoken to people, and when I met them, I wouldn't hear nothing back. My first words would always be, by the way, I can't move one side of my face. And it's a shame that I had to do that. I mean, I didn't have to. I just did. I made myself do it because I felt like I needed to. Social media can make you think somebody has everything together. And one thing I hear from a lot of people is that I'm really strong. I'm torn on this because I can see why people say that. I'm not strong. I didn't have a choice. You have to suck it up and deal with it. I've wanted to just give up. It's gotten really bad. I get really frustrated. I'm just staring at my face, and I'm not happy with it. The whole point of this video was to tell y'all my experiences, how it's affected me mentally, how it's affected me socially. It has not been easy. All I heard growing up when they found this was how rare it was. And I'm sitting here thinking, well, if it's so rare, why? Why me? But life ain't all bad. You know, music helped me through a lot of stuff. When I was up having my big surgery, Woe Is Me, that band, all of their songs, I swear, even to this day, if I hear it, it makes me so happy. Like, I get that nostalgia from that terrible situation. It's just, music does something. Sit back, turn it on. It's my getaway, I guess. And some video games. I appreciate y'all watching. I don't know if I'm gonna do another one between now and the CT scan. I probably won't because it's just a few days away. But when I have the CT scan, I'll be sure I'm gonna do a whole, you know, before I leave, on the way there, when I get to the hospital, afterwards, you know, after the visit with my ENTs, after the CT scan. Y'all gonna know about as much as I do. This has been fun. I'm glad I decided to do this. Whether it helps somebody, even if they're not going through exactly what I'm going through, whether it helps somebody, you know, understand what I have, whether it, you know, just opens up some minds. Even if people want to be nosy, like, why can't she move one side of her face? Now you know. But one thing I did want to add in that I almost forgot completely about. When I was working at Lowe's Home Improvement in Tarboro, North Carolina, I never want to work in customer service again. Y'all would be shocked at the things people would ask me. Just blatantly. Just, oh honey, why is your face twisted like that? That was one of them. Word for word. One guy, he was rude. He went in there a lot. And he would go and he leaned over the counter and got about this far from me and said, so what happened to you? You in a wreck or something? And that happened a lot. I understand people being curious, wanting to understand. I have no issue explaining things to people, explaining why this is like this, explaining what happened to me. I have no problem with it. But there's a way to ask. I don't mind talking about it, but you have to know how to ask. You don't just go up to somebody and say something like that. You don't do it. One day we're all going to be old and ugly. I mean, some old people are not ugly, but I will be. You gotta learn to laugh at yourself sometimes. Like, here's one thing I always tell myself. Halloween would be great. Two-Face off Batman. Write down. There we go. That works. How, moving your face and wrinkling up your forehead and stuff, they say it ages you because it pulls the skin and then it gets loose, and over time you get the lines and stuff. One side going to look 30 while the other side going to look 92. See, you win some, you lose some. I appreciate y'all watching, checking in. Feel free to subscribe because this is going to be an ongoing thing. If you want to, you can share with people. It's been 20 years and I still have it. But I'm still breathing. I'm going to head off to sleep. I might go try to eat something, then get some sleep. Stay tuned. Yeah, just stay tuned. I'll be here.